mission to scrapbook every photo in 2026. This year, I wanted to develop a system that would allow any woman in any season to get all of her photos out of her phone and into real life, into a scrapbook where she could enjoy them. I made some templates and I got to work. So let's see how day 3 is shaping up. All right, sisters, I am here with a pack of pictures fresh out the slammer, which is my camera roll, and your camera roll, which is prison for our memories. Okay, so I was sharing last video in this series, this is part 3, that there were some pictures I forgot to include in January, or actually didn't realize I wanted to include in January. So our monthly gathering picture with a little caption, and this is a desktop calendar I do with all of the live streams for the month for our clubhouse. So we'll put that one there. And then we get into the the April images. Okay, so here's another January. I realized that I wanted to include what I had watched that month, my glam flicks, as I call it, with a little rating. So I love historical fiction. So here is Victoria, and then a documentary on the Tudors that was so good. Or not the Tudors, actually. It was Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII. And then our book club picture, we read Little Women in January. So I wanted to also start including that. So I made this 6x12 expando, as we will call it. And I realized that they no longer sell 6x12 page protectors, and I could not find them on eBay or anything. So if you need an expando, what you could do is just cut a 12x12 pocket page just right here. They're relatively inexpensive. I have so many, so it would not break my heart to cut one down, but ideally I just plan my layouts so that I don't need them, but it's always good to have options. Okay, and now the fun begins. We get to slip them into the pocket pages. This is one of the most satisfying things. It releases so much endorphins. Seriously, try it. You will have truly a new lease on life. All right, and then this one we will just cut in half. I love this paper trimmer. She has been with me for many, many years, over 2 decades, and still going strong. Now she comes in pink. I have a Glam Memories section of my Amazon storefront if you want any memory keeping tool recommendations. And then for the journaling cards, I do like to actually make them just a little bit smaller than the 3 inches so that they slip into the pockets more easily. So there is number 1 and number 2. Okay, next I redid a 4x6 because I realized I wanted to just go with a pattern. So for the whole year, I'm going to be using the monthly colors for each each monthly layout. I want to use the monthly colors. So there are Paper and Glam monthly colors. We are huge seasonal queens in the Paper and Glam world. So we have everything color coded, and this is the January colors. It also corresponds with all the collections in the shop. So let's also get this updated. So we're just going to pull this out. The other thing I love about this method is as you learn and you figure out what process is going to work for you every month, it's so easy to change course. And if you make a mistake, or not even a mistake, you decide you want to change something, this cost me 69 cents to course correct on. So I just love that. Okay, so what are we going to do with these? Are we going to toss them? Of course not. We're going to put them in my journal. So I started using the Hobonichi in, it was March 1st, because I had tried a new journaling system. I had been in the same one for 5 years, and then I decided that I wanted something new for this year. I tried it, it didn't work, and then I decided to start using the Hobonichi as my journal for 2026. And I am going to glue this onto the day of the 29th, which was our book club gathering. So I will put that somewhere on here. I am going to come through and backfill this one of these days. And I love that I have this little calendar in here, because if I'm ever going back and like wondering, okay, where were we as far as like when was the date? I love that there's a calendar in my scrapbook now. All right, so this one, I'm going to use this rolling adhesive. This is my favorite adhesive. It is the OG Tombow. I also have it in my Amazon storefront if you would like to use it. And then let's see, if we put it here, it covers the quote. So what we could do is do washi here to cover the quote. And let me show you exactly what I mean. So I created this spread because I was at my favorite hotel in LA, the Oceana. I don't even want to put you guys onto it because I love it so much. And I'm always like, kind of gatekeeping things specifically in California a little bit. Not really, you guys know I don't really gatekeep anything, but because California is just so busy. So let me put you on to the Oceana when you go to LA. Absolutely love it. So I grabbed stationery that they had just on the nightstand, and I'm gonna go through and journal on it, but I wanted to show it to you guys first. And I've been just doing easy junk journaling when the mood strikes. Most of the time I completely fill out every single day with just like as my ship's log and just as my journal. But for days when I'm traveling, it's fun to just make these little junk journal spreads. So let me show you another one. Okay, so then I went to Palm Springs and I made this cute little junk journal spread from, this was a bag that I got and just cut down. And I went to the bookstore and just went to a stationery store. And this is Bobo Design Studio on IG if you want to take a peek at this adorable stationery store. And then they also had like a city guide for Palm Springs that I stuck in here. I could have easily made this into a trad scrapbook page, but I didn't really take a lot of pictures on my trip because I really just kind of wanted to be in the moment. And I just feel like it was screaming for a junk journal spread. So that is what I wanted to show you there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some washi here and stick this guy in. And then for this one, it will go somewhere in February. I'm not sure where. So I've just been sticking things that I want to backfill in here. So I'll just put it in there. All right, so I used that same polka dot washi because I couldn't find anything else that matched and also said January. So I hope seeing how my various memory keeping systems are coming together is helpful. So I love using this as a journal slash junk journal, and I like to use it for things that are just a little more random, a little more gritty, and that way my yearbook, this 12 by 12 scrapbook we're making together, can just be a little more polished. And of course, not a right or wrong thing. It's just sometimes the story kind of feels like it's dictated by the medium that you're using. And I love how junk journaling just feels very forgiving, very just kind of like random and collected. And I love how this medium just feels really complete and just gives you so much flexibility. And it's something you can do just while you're listening to a podcast, an audiobook, and yeah, you can just do it like late at night while you're watching TV. So I love that as well. Okay, January is once again complete. Here was February, if you missed earlier parts of the series, the first 2 episodes. And now we are in April. So I did put in a few more things. So I got this recipe from my aunt, which is my great grandmother's recipe, and I went ahead and put this in a 6x8 page protector, and you'll see it is 3-hole punched, but it works in this, or excuse me, 6-hole punched. So it works both for 6-ring planners, and it also works in an album, a 12x12 album. And I just love that. Again, I just love the flexibility. So I put that in here to go with my May images. And then I knew I would forget to include these ephemera pieces, so we put those here in the last video. And let's do April. Okay, so we're going to start the same as we've started every month with these 3 images. And then we have my personification of the month. So this one's a little different than some of the images I've done in the past. I thought this was so pretty for my mom's backyard, and I just thought it was really beautiful for a title page, or for really anything you wanted to use it for. Like, I think it'd be fun to do like a full series, to do 12 kind of background type images and use them for something, or even use them as a like title as you start a new month. So if I wanted to use that to start the month, I thought that was fun. So we'll put that over there. And then here is just an image of my living room I have been taking every month, and I just love Sunday on the couch holding her bunny. This is like chef's kiss. This is like enlargement worthy as a dog mom. Okay, and then same thing here. We have the purple Home Sweet Home. This one I put April showers, blooming flowers, sunny hours. So it's been fun kind of doing all these little personifications of each month. And then here I'm going to use this later, but this is an example of things I like to include. I had Pinterest do my colors, and I came back a bright spring, which basically meant all of the Paper and Glam monthly colors. So my soul knew, which is just like too funny. Okay, here we have one of our book club picks for April, which was We Love You Bunny. And here is another one. We'll put those farther on in the album. Here is just an image of my seasonal storage. I did a video on just some storage hacks I'd found, and that's for the Seasonal Living Masterclass in the membership. So I did a picture there. Okay, that was just from the thumbnail. Again, I'm loving doing these little detail shots next to these like seasonal labels, spring 2026. And I'm looking for the one that I want to put here. Okay, so next I want to include this picture of my kitchen, and I love including the detail shots with the overview shots. I think that adds so much character to your spreads. So here we have the details of this spring centerpiece, or this Easter centerpiece for the Easter home tour, and here we have the overview. And then I made this one just to show the videos that I did in April, and then I have one more too. So that is a completed spread here, and I absolutely love how we have the alternating of like the pictures with more white space, as well as the images with just full bleed pictures. So that is a really nice hack for making your images, or your spreads, your layouts, I should say, not look so crowded, because if you do wall-to-wall pictures, for me, they start to look really crowded, and I like things that are pretty clean and colorful. I would say that's my style. So this gets me that clean and colorful look. So even up here, like, see how this is getting a little bit crowded, and we can probably switch it out. I probably will. So you can kind of see how this to me is screaming for a little white space. So let's go ahead and see if we can find something that works better there. So here's some pictures of my grandma's 100th birthday party. And let's see, I kind of want it to go in order, but if it doesn't break my heart. So let's see if we have another image that will give us some white. So like this, I would say, is perfect. So here's Sunday with her seasonal toys. So if you're new, Sunday is my 14-year-old American Eskimo. She has been here with us since the beginning of YouTube, and since she is getting elderly, I have just been wanting to take all of the pictures of her and just like our daily routine. So she just loves to sit here with a seasonal toy. This is like her chaise. No one uses it but her. And then she was taking both her March toy and her April toy out to our little outdoor chaise so she could bring them both, and I just thought that was so cute. So we can see how replacing that just gives a little more white space, and so you can kind of see, look at that versus look at that. right? It's just a little more movement for the eye, which is what we want when we're doing design. Okay, now we have the great fun of slipping these into the pocket pages. That is our first layout for April. I love all the seasonal color, just the way it comes to life, and you can see it transitioning through the months. Okay, on to the next. Okay, next I laid out just some everyday moments from April. So I do the home tour for the clubhouse at the beginning of the month. It's usually at the end of actually the previous month, kind of depending where the holiday lands. So I have just like lots of images from the Easter home tour. And then I was laying this out and I realized that this pink pillow, I have 2 of these, and I thought that was a little bit much for the pink pillow. It's kind of nice to have repeating elements, not kind of, it is really nice because it pulls everything together, but I didn't want it to be like quite so overt, so maybe I will use that one. So again, just working on just like this is a regular Saturday morning that I wanted to document. So I have that, and then we get into Easter. So what I also did that's different from my previous months is for images that did not fit nicely into a template like this where I couldn't get the caption on, I just put the caption right on the image. So when I put this picture of this egg coloring station my mom did, she did a charcuterie station, and then an egg coloring station. And I thought that was just so cute. And so we all made a egg and put it at our placemat for Easter dinner. And so when I put it in, I was either losing the flowers. So when I dropped it in here, I either lost too much of the flowers or I lost the charcuterie. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and put the caption on top. So that's an idea for you there. So I want all of the Easter images to be together. So my mom put this on my place for Easter dinner. It was paper and glam pink roses in the cutest little bunny mug for, this was from World Market. And then this was just like the dinner going in the oven, baked potatoes, prime rib, and a cheesy cauliflower. So that will go over here. And then we get into pictures of LA. And so for those pictures, I want to use some of my ephemera. All right, so maybe we'll do LA on the next page here. So I'll set those aside, and same thing, the caption goes on top. And so we need one here with some white space, so we can use that. And this is just thumbnails from my videos. And then I need some more white space here. So let's go ahead and use one of these. I think that looks really cute. And then we need more white space here. So I know I'm not going to be able to use all of these. So like this picture is just like a good basic. It's not, it does have the church in it, so maybe I do want to use it for April, but there's other pictures in here that I printed. This is my grandma's birthday, so we want to put that in April. This was April, but like this picture of my deer as an example, she lives in my backyard and she just had a baby. She's so cute. Like that doesn't necessarily have to go in April. That's just kind of an everyday occurrence. The rest of the stuff is pretty April. So anyway, we need something with a little more white space there. And if I need to go back and like print something that works, I totally will. And I will just, you know, do that with my May pictures. All right, so I'm not seeing what I want for this space, and so I might need to get something reprinted, but let's just go through and see what might work. We need something we can cut in half, and so we want all of these together. So even if I do another little white picture, white caption here, we still need something for this other side. So let's see what we want it to be. Maybe if we want to do it like kind of all of a book theme, we could use that guy. All right, let's slip these into the sleeves. Okay, here is the next side. So I realized I can use one of these for this side, so we have that nice white space. So I'm going to use this first JFK documentary I watched, JFK Jr. on their wedding. So we'll put that on the left side, and then I think just to give it a little more space, I want to do, one kind of close up and then one far away. So I'm going to use this kitchen shot just kind of to complete like the everyday at home moments. And then we have Easter moments down here. Okay, so this is finished, but I want to show you what I mean. So see if we had a close up image here versus a far away image, it just gives it more dimension when you have a mix of different angles and different kind of zoom ratios. So we are done and we can slip these into the pockets. Okay, first 3 pages of April in the bag. All right, that is a wrap on day 3 of scrapbooking every photo in 2026. I'm going to pause it there so this video doesn't get too long, and I will be back with day 4 soon. If you made it this far in the video, you must have liked it, so please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to be a part of the Paper and Glam world, the easiest way to get plugged in is to just join the newsletter. I send one email every Thursday just from my desk to yours, just telling you what I've been working on, if there's a new video, something new in the shop, anything like that. You can subscribe in the down bar. There is a link. And then I would love to have you in the Paper and Glam experience as my membership community that I have been building since 2019. And it is a whole world for women who love stationery and memory keeping and paper crafting, journaling, Bible study, book club, seasonal living, just all the cozy girly things. And right around my birthday this last month, Robin, who has been a member for about a year, posted this in the clubhouse, and it just meant the world to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. She said, "I've been quietly watching the replays and cheering everyone on from the background. I'm an introvert. I've been a fan since the YouTube days, and this year I finally decided to do something for myself. The FOMO was real, and now my heart is so happy. I truly feel like I'm right where I belong. Seasonal living, memory keeping, stationery, reading, Bible study, I love it all. Thank you for creating this space and for being so real and authentic. After some difficult years, this community has brought me so much grounding, gratitude, and joy. I'm truly so happy to be here." And that post truly just, I felt really seen by that, and I hope you do too, because I know a lot of us have been through some difficult years in the recent past, myself very much included, and we need that companionship. We need to be in the room, virtually or physically, with women who are all in on becoming who God created them to be. And the community goes with you wherever you go. We have members who have moved 3 times in the last year, and wherever you go, Paper and Glam goes. And as someone who has also moved kind of a lot, my mom calls me a traveling gypsy, I have needed that grounding, and to know that there are women who are going to show up for me in every season, just like I'm going to show up for them. And that has, when you find that wherever you are, it's truly life-changing. So I cannot wait to see you in the membership, and we have a craft date coming up. So if you want to get crafty with me, we're doing that on July 14th. So again, thank you guys for being here. I will be back with day 4. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.